The last 6 months have laid bare fundamental gaps and inequities within our societies and between them. As with climate change, those who have the least are impacted the most. That's why last spring, Canada worked with Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Secretary General Antonio Guterres to convene a high-level meeting to discuss how leaders around the world could work together to close these gaps.
To be honest, this is how I feel. Like, Justin Trudeau is the worst prime minister in human history. Like, I swear to God, bro. If I could smack this dude, I would in a heartbeat. This is who the young people voted for, yo.
Policy options. On September 8th,
I'm shaking my head,
finance ministers gathered to discuss these options and the recommendations for the short, medium, and long term. The most promising ideas will be taken up within existing IMF and World Bank processes, as well as at the G7 and
Like,
G20
who's gonna
leaders
force
summits
anybody to
later
take
in the
a
fall.
vaccine? Like,
Then, in
to
December,
be honest,
we're going to have the opportunity
with the
to meet
vaccine,
again
like,
to discuss the progress
we're gonna have to
we've
take
made.
that in April
Because
of
we understand
2021.
that right now we have to fix urgent problems, but in the long run, we also have to fix the system so that it works for
And not
everyone.
only that, Trudeau always
To
focuses on
eliminate this
climate
virus
change and
anywhere,
other
we
people's
need to
problems
eliminate
rather
it
than his own country.
everywhere. While scientists work around the clock to develop a vaccine, as governments, we have the responsibility to ensure it'll be distributed quickly and fairly around the world.
Usually, a
On
vaccine takes
Friday,
more
I
than
announced
5
that
years
Canada
for it
will
to be
provide
developed and fully
$440 million
functional.
to
Like,
COVID-19
they're gonna force us to
vaccine
take a
global access
vaccine that's
facility,
only been
including
developed for a year.
$220 million to the Advanced Market Commitment to help low and middle-income countries access vaccines. This is an important initiative, and I encourage other governments to join in as well. We need to work together, and not just on vaccines. Canada believes that a strong, coordinated response across the world and across sectors is essential. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our
There you
chance to
go.
accelerate
There you
our
go. He said it.
pre-pandemic
A
efforts
reset.
to reimagine economic
What does he
systems
mean by
that
a
actually
reset?
address global challenges like extreme
To be
poverty,
honest.
inequality, and climate change. Last week, our government committed to
But
investing
there you go.
more in
Like,
international
this
development
is one of the
while
reasons
supporting
why, like, I can't stand this dude, like,
developing
as prime
countries on their
minister. Like,
economic recoveries and
honestly,
resilience.
someone should
And
kick
on
this
that
guy out
note,
of office, bro.
today, I can announce that Canada will
A
invest
global
$400
reset.
million
Now, I'm not here to hate
more
the
in
government or
humanitarian
people
and
in
development
positions of
funding,
power.
which
Like,
will go
but
directly
your
to
job is
trusted
supposed to
partners
govern
on
the
the ground
people.
fighting COVID-19.
And like
Our
I
government
said,
is
you know,
committed
you
to
haven't done
investing
anything
even
to actually
more
help
in the years to come.
the people.
In
So
addition,
you
we will
just sold your
continue to
soul
advocate for
to
extending
dictators and
the debt
despots.
service suspension
Now, what do
initiative.
you mean by
We will also
reset,
work on
man? Could you be
ensuring the
more
special
specific?
needs of small island developing states and other vulnerable countries
So yeah, I
are
mean,
taken into
not only
account.
do we have to force to get a
Building back better
vaccine, like we
means
have to.
getting
There's going to be
support to
a
the most
global,
vulnerable while
probably an
maintaining our
economic
momentum
reset of
on
some
reaching the
sorts,
2030
as
agenda
if world
for
leaders
sustainable
decide to do that.
development and the SDGs.
I
Canada
think
is here to
now it's
listen
time not to
and to help.
put our
Are you
faith in
concerned
politicians
about a
because
contested election
sometimes
result in the
politicians
United
can fail
States?
you, to be
And what are
honest.
you doing to prepare for the potential international consequences of such a situation?
Canada is, of course, fully respectful of the processes underway in the United States. We will not
Of
be
course, you just want to see
interfering or
who wins.
engaging in any way in
If
their
Trump gets
electoral
out of
processes, and
office
that
and
includes
Joe Biden wins,
commenting on
you're
their
just going to
electoral
work with your
processes.
buddy to
We will, of
establish
course,
this
continue to
reset.
prepare for any outcomes and be there to stand up for Canadians.
Sometimes I'm
as we
hoping that
always
Trump will
have,
win because at
in
least
the
then
past years.
America,
Therefore,
North
the
America will
role
have
of
a fighting
Canadian
chance until
government
it's doomed.
is to be there to defend
Like I said,
Canadian
I'm not putting
interests
my
while
faith in
working
any of these
with
leaders.
elected leaders around the world.
I'd rather
We
put
will
my faith
continue
in
to do
God
that.
rather
My
than men.
question is
But to
about
be
the
honest,
COVAX program, the
we as
coronavirus
the people need to
vaccine
put in people
sharing
that are
and
actually going to serve the needs of
accelerating
the
program.
people. Like, your
You've
job as
all
the government
said
is to
it
govern.
should be
Your job is not to like
available to all. And yet the
restrict and
United
control
States
people's
has not been
well-being.
part
And
of it, although some
even
members
in
of
the
the
Bible it
climate
says
sector in
that,
the United States
God in the Garden
are.
of Eden created free
Is
will for
there
people.
anything
There's a reason why God
being
had free
done
will in the
as
Garden of Eden,
outreach
man.
to the United States to come back into the COVAX
He
program,
allowed
and
people
how
to have free will,
optimistic
to have
are
their own
you
choice on how to
that the
live their
money
lives.
will come in
Not to
for
say
it
that
and
we need too much
distribution
free
of a
will, but at the same
vaccine
time,
or
like, we
many
don't need this
vaccines
much
once they're
restrictions,
available will be distributed fairly?
We understand how important it is to eradicate the virus at home and everywhere at the same time. That's why Canada's moved forward in a number of different ways to ensure that wherever and whenever a virus is developed,
To be honest,
we
like
make sure
that's
we're
why I just hope
maximizing our chances to be able to
I just
obtain
hope
it.
for Canada, for
So
the
a
best for
big chunk
Canada,
of that is through
because
contributing close
he's
to
talking
$500
about a
million
reset.
to the COVAX facility,
And
which works as in we are
I mean,
securing
I'm hoping that
doses
this
for
video will get
Canada
people to be
at the
more aware
same
of what's
time
going
that
on
we're
in
paying for,
in
and at the
Canadian
same time as
politics.
we will be
I know we as
paying for
Canadians
an
tend to
equal
look
number
at
of
American
doses
politics,
to
the
be
United States,
distributed
but
to the developing
you know,
world.
Canada
That's
has its
the
fair share
large
of
functioning of it
difficulties
that
too.
allows for countries to both
And to be
secure
honest, like
domestic capacity
the reason why I'm
at a
talking over
reasonable
him is
price, but
because like I
also
can't stand this
ensure
guy,
that
and
our initiative
I don't think he has
gets
done anything to
vaccines
really
out
like
to other
support the
countries
needs of
as
the
well
people at
who
all.
don't have the capacity to pay. At the
No,
same time,
if
Canada has
any government
secured
or any
bilateral
form of
deals
government is
with
willing to do that, then
many
by guess.
pharmaceutical
But
companies
Trudeau, this is a
and
fair warning.
potential vaccines
If you don't
to
do something
double up on
soon,
our chances to
the
be able
people are gonna
to
rebel against your
access
authority and
vaccines
honestly kick you
once
out.
one
You
becomes
know.
available. But we know that participating
But it's up to the
internationally in
people to
ensuring
decide that. You
vaccines
know.
for the developing world
But
is
this is my
incredibly
commentary on
important
Trudeau's
as we move
situation,
forward, and which is why we're
and I'm out.
full-fledged supporters of
Peace,
the
guys.
COVAX facility.